The wind was dry, and the earth cracked beneath Kioni's feet. She watched as the sun beat down on her village of Jumo, the crops withering, and the rivers running dry. The elders had been whispering for days about the drought. It had lasted longer than anyone could remember, and everyone was afraid. The people had done everything they could, praying, offering gifts to gods, and even making sacrifices, but still no rain came. Kioni's heart ached as she watched her mother gather the last of their water. The village was starving, and many had begun to fall ill. Kioni was just a young dancer, but she knew her people were in danger. One evening, as the red sun sank behind the hills, the village elder called a meeting in the center of village. The chief, old and wise, spoke with a heavy voice. "The gods are angry. They will not listen to our prayers. There is only one thing left we can do." Everyone listened in silence. "We must ask spirits of the wind to send rain, but this is no ordinary task. It requires a dancer, blessed by gods, to perform the last dance." Kioni's heart skipped a beat. She had heard the stories about the last dance, the sacred dance that could bring rain to the land, but it was dangerous. It was said that whomever danced the last dance might never return. The chief continued, "The spirits of the wind must be pleased. The dancer must go on top of the mountain, dance until the sky opens, and the rain falls. If the spirit is displeased, there will be no more rain. The dancer will be lost forever." Kioni's mother squeezed her hand tightly. She knew what her daughter was thinking. Kioni was the best dancer in the village, but this was too dangerous. That night, Kioni couldn't sleep. She stared at the stars, thinking about her village, her family, and the crops dying in the fields. She loved to dance. It was the only thing that made her feel free, and now she was the only hope left for her people. Early next morning, before the sun had risen, Kioni made her decision. She would dance for the spirit of the wind. She would bring the rain. With her heart pounding in her chest, she went to the chief and the elders. "I will dance," she said, her voice steady but her hand trembling. "I will perform the last dance." The elders nodded solemnly, but there was sadness in their eyes. They knew the dangers, but they had no other choice. They prepared Kioni for her journey. She was given a special dress woven from the finest clothes, and a necklace of beads that shone like stars. Her mother kissed her forehead, tears in her eyes. "Be strong, my daughter," she whispered. "The gods will protect you." Kioni set off for the mountain, her heart heavy with fear but also hope. The path was steep, and as she climbed higher, the air grew thin, and her legs grew tired, but she didn't stop. She knew she had to keep going. When she reached the top of the mountain, the sky was dark, and the wind howled around her. She stood at the edge, looking out over her village far below. Taking a deep breath, she closed her eyes and began to dance. The wind whipped around her. Kioni danced with all her heart, moving to the rhythm of the earth beneath her feet. She could feel the power of the gods in her every step, her every turn. The sky above her began to rumble with thunder. As she danced, Kioni could feel the presence of the wind spirit watching her. She danced faster, her feet moving in harmony with the beat of her heart. But the wind grew stronger, pushing against her, trying to stop her. She fought back, her movement becoming more desperate, her body aching. She danced until she couldn't feel her legs, until the world around her blurred and the sky was filled with the angry clouds. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the wind. "Why do you dance, little one?" the spirit asked, its voice deep and cold. Kioni's heart pounded in her chest. "I dance for my people," she cried out, her voice barely audible over the roar of the wind. "I dance to bring the rain. Please, we are dying." The spirit was silent for a moment. Then it spoke again. You ask for much. You ask for much, little dancer. What are you willing to give in return? Kioni hesitated. She had heard the story of dancers who had given their lives to the spirits, never returned. But she couldn't think about herself now. Her village needed her. They needed rain. I will give you whatever you ask, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Just bring the rain. The wind grew fierce, almost knocking her off her feet. The spirit's voice was loud and thunderous. Very well, but remember, little one, all things come with a price. With those words, the sky opened. Rain began to pour down, heavy and fierce, soaking the land. Kioni smiled through her tears. She had done it. The rain had come, but as the rain fell, Kioni felt herself growing weaker. Her legs gave out beneath her, and she collapsed on the mountain's edge. The spirit's voice echoed in her mind. All things come with a price, little dancer. Kioni's vision blurred as the rain soaked her to the bone. She had saved her village, but she knew the truth now. The last dance had taken everything from her. She would never return. Down in the village, the people celebrate as the rain filled the rivers and nourished their crops. They danced and sang, grateful for the miracle that had saved them. But Kioni's mother stood alone at the edge of the village, her heart heavy with sorrow. She knew that her daughter would not come back. The rain had come, but it had taken Kioni with it. And so the village was saved, but at a great cost. The people would never forget Kioni's sacrifice, but the rain reminded them of the sadness that followed every blessing. Sometimes the greatest gifts come with the greatest loss. I'm Kaya, truly grateful you were here. If you liked this story, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Goodbye for now. Stay sweet and kind.